Have you ever considered why you are you? Have you ever considered what makes you you? Have you ever considered or think how you are you? What makes me me? So there are five letter acronyms by Robin Sharma, and it's named PENAM. So P in the word PENAM stands for parent, E stands for environment, N stands for nation, and A stands for association, M stands for media. And today I'm going to be talking about parents. So the other day, I actually went out to a clinic and then for a general medical checkup. And so I just sat by, just filled my form for a chart. And this boy walked up to me with his toy Thor hammer, wrapped with a sellotape actually. And so he was just yapping and yapping about the sellotape being sticky. And he was like, it's so sticky, it's so sticky. The way children react when when they are struggling with something. And so I tried to unwrap this sellotape with him for him because he brought it to me, and I was like, oh, I was amazed about what the Thor hammer looks like. And I just tried to unwrap the sellotape for him, and then he was like, oh, I'm going to go give it to my dad. He gave it to his father and then came back to me. And then he was looking at me. He was just with so much curiosity, very innocent. And he was just yapping about his mom having to shout into his dad's ear because his dad cannot hear properly. And that was the reason why they were in the clinic. So he was asking me, why are you here? I'm like, because I came here just same way, the reason why your father came here, because he came to check himself. So I'm here also to check myself. And then he was just curious, like innocently. And then he looked at my arm, trying to touch my arm. And he was like, where? He kept repeating the word where. And I was going to fill the sentence for him, like, oh, you mean why or where I'm big or something? I don't know. And then he was like, no, no. Where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Africa. It's like, why do you look different? And then I said, oh, because I'm from Africa. And then he was, I definitely know he probably doesn't even know what my answer was or what it meant to be from Africa or where Africa is even from or where Africa is located. He probably doesn't have the knowledge yet. But which, with his curiosity and his innocent mind, and it was like, why do you look different? Why do you look darker? And I was just wondering because definitely I was sure that I was the only person with a darker skin color in the clinic. So it was obvious the reason why he was surprised or he was, curious as to why I look different than everyone in the clinic. And so sarcastically, I could have answered him and tell him, oh, because I came from the sun and, I got burnt. That's the reason why I was black. All right, I have this darker skin. I mean, as an African parent, that would have been the answer. I'm very sure of that. So he could have walked up to his mom and tell his mom that that person is from the sun, and the parents would probably have told him yes, just to make him believe. And then when he grows up, he gets to realize that was different. Okay, so that's not what I'm gonna talk about today. So apparently, it was just curious, okay, and I could just admire the courage that this little boy has. He was probably in his 4 years old, 5 years old, and I could just admire the confidence, the courage he has to, walk up to me as a stranger. And for him yapping to me about his mom having to shout into his dad's ears. And that was the reason why they were in the clinic. So I was just thinking in my head, what if the parents were actually doing something bad? He would have just, innocently yapped that same thing to a stranger like me because he does not know me. I was just a stranger. I mean, and he just yapped the reason why his parents were in the clinic. If his parents were doing something different, something, out of normal, he would have yapped that to a stranger. And that's where I talk about. And then I realized that this boy is actually raised properly. He was raised right. And then when the parents were leaving the clinic, his mom asked him to say bye, to say bye. And then I was like, okay, that's nice. That's very, very nice of them. Because so many times parents actually have been in a situation whereby parents just call their child because they probably playing with people like me or playing with, you know, people of skin color like me. And then the parents just, suddenly just calls them to come inside. So I just wanted to say that whatever we as parents, I'm not a parent yet, but I hope that I will be someday. And I can tell you that I realize that so many people in my generation would probably, or I'm just hoping that we would be good parents and be better than our own parents. Because if you ever think about it, that a lot of why people are so negative, why there are so many bad people and wicked, was because of their upbringing. Have you ever go studied that? I don't want to mention names, but you can check about the recent story of that was trending of recent. You can check out from his parents, his wife as well, if anyone knows who I'm talking about. But then you can check out the father of his wife, and you will realize that there is so much reason why we should take parenting seriously, because that's how you affect the society. If you think that you don't have any responsibility for the society, then start with you being a good parent. And I'm just going to use this opportunity to talk to men just like me. Please, let's be better fathers. And I just want to let you know that if you take care of your children, if you raise them right, trust me, later on, they would never ever depart from you. And that's the real truth if you connect with them. In fact, the Bible actually completed all of this that I'm saying. And there is a verse or a chapter or a part in the Bible that says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he grows, he would never depart from it. And that's just it. What makes me me was because I was raised the way I was. What makes you you was because of the way you were brought up. So subconsciously, children actually, see what the adults in their environment do. They actually subconsciously sink it in, even though they don't actually display that behavior right when they're young. By the time they grow, they get to display that character. And then you kind of wondered if they were good things, you would see it. If they were bad, you kind of wondered where you missed it. How did you get it wrong? But you never can tell. You never know that it was just the way you parented your kids. And please, please, let your children be a positive impact to the society and not a nuisance. I'm so sorry. I'm not scolding anybody, but I'm just going to tell you that we can do better. And all of this, all the changes starts from us. And yes, I realized that there are certain things that I have to unlearn while growing up, or, when growth is happening, because there are some faults of what I learned while growing up as well. You can never be perfect as parents, of course. You can't. But at the same time, all of these changes start from you. And I can tell you for a fact that whatever you do, the changes start with you. There are certain things, I'm not a parent yet and I haven't gotten married yet, but I will tell you that there are certain things that I do not want my children to learn from me. Yes. I will tell you that there are certain things and the reason why I don't want my children to live in such an environment. And that was why I'm making this video, just to let us know that we should be a better parents, especially to my generation, please. Okay? Thank you, and see you on the next one.